So in this experiment, we're going to be producing alum from the reaction of aluminum with potassium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. So to start the experiment, we have to use sandpaper to remove any wax coating on top of a piece of aluminum. Then we're going to cut the aluminum into small pieces, which is what I already have here. So you have a beaker that you have determined the mass, and then you're going to add about 1 gram of aluminum, but you have to make sure that you copy the exact amount that you're using. The goal of this experiment is to actually calculate the percent yield that we're getting based on the amount of product, and the amount of product that we're getting is going to depend on how much of this reactant aluminum we're using. So I have here my aluminum in a beaker, and now what we have to do to start this reaction is to add water first. So I have my distilled water here, so I'm going to do that. So now we have the aluminum, small pieces of aluminum in water, and now we have to add there 30 milliliters of potassium hydroxide. The concentration of potassium hydroxide is 6 molar. So I'm going to add that in there. And the reaction is starting, and I know that because hydrogen gas is forming. So you can see how it looks cloudy, and that's actually the bubbles of hydrogen. So we're going to keep this container with the aluminum, the water, and the potassium hydroxide here in the fume hood. So we have to wait for all of the aluminum to react, and we can determine that by looking at the formation of hydrogen. So when the formation of hydrogen stops, it means that that part of the reaction is over. So setting up that beaker just on the fume hood for half an hour, and then after half an hour we can actually check if the reaction or this step of the reaction is done. So now that the reaction is over, the reaction between the aluminum and the potassium hydroxide, it's over. There's no more formation of hydrogen in here. So we're ready to move to the next step. And in the next step, what we're going to be doing is adding sulfuric acid into our reaction after we filter all the residues that we have in here.